Welcome back to Beyond Wisdom, where we explore timeless truths for a more peaceful and meaningful life. Today, we're exploring a question that sits at the center of many of our struggles. How do we stay calm when our emotions are trying to take over? Whether it's anger, fear, sadness, or stress, emotions can feel overwhelming. But what if staying calm isn't about controlling them, but understanding them in a deeper way? When we're hit with strong emotions, our first instinct is often to push them away. We tense up, shut down, or try to distract ourselves. But the truth is, emotions aren't trying to hurt us. They're trying to tell us something. Anger might be pointing to a boundary that's been crossed. Sadness might be asking us to slow down and feel. Anxiety might be reminding us to prepare or pay attention. If we stop fighting our emotions and start listening to them, we shift from panic to presence. And presence is where calm begins. Long before we can name what we're feeling, our body has already reacted. Maybe your heart races, your chest tightens, your hands get cold, or your stomach turns. These are early signals that something inside needs care. When you start to feel overwhelmed, take a moment to pause and check in with your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice your breath. Breathe slower, deeper. These small physical shifts tell your nervous system that you are safe. You don't have to fix everything in that moment. You just have to stay with yourself. Emotions love to drag our thoughts into wild places. One angry comment becomes, "No one respects me." One awkward moment turns into, "Everyone thinks I'm a failure." These thoughts feel real in the moment, but that doesn't make them true. Just because your mind is saying something loud doesn't mean it's wise. Calm comes when we stop reacting to every thought and start noticing them instead. You can say to yourself, "I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough," rather than, "I'm not good enough." That tiny bit of space between you and your thoughts can shift everything. One of the simplest but most powerful ways to calm strong emotions is to name them. Not in a dramatic way, but in a gentle, honest way. I feel sad. I feel frustrated. I feel nervous. When we put words to what we feel, we activate a different part of the brain. We move from raw reaction to quiet awareness. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, the fear doesn't feel so big. The sadness doesn't feel like it's swallowing us. Naming helps us make room for the feeling without letting it take over. This might be the most important truth of all. You can feel angry without being an angry person. You can feel anxious without being broken. You can feel sad without losing your strength. Emotions are temporary states. They rise, they peak, and they pass. But when we believe we are the emotion, we lose ourselves in it. Calm begins the moment we say, "This is something I'm feeling. It is not all of who I am." That shift in identity gives us the space to breathe again. It brings us back to our center. Think of your emotions like waves in the ocean. Some are soft, some are powerful, some knock you off your feet. But no matter how big a wave gets, it always returns to stillness. The ocean doesn't try to stop the waves. It lets them rise and lets them fall. You are that ocean. Your calm is not the absence of waves. It's the deep stillness underneath them. When you stop trying to fight every emotional wave, you start learning how to ride them. You begin to trust that they will pass. And in that trust, calm grows. When emotions flare, it helps to have something familiar to return to. A calm ritual doesn't need to be fancy. It could be placing your hand on your chest, taking 10 deep breaths, sitting by a window and watching the sky, writing one honest sentence in a journal, listening to a soft piece of music. The point isn't to get rid of the emotion. It's to remind yourself that you are safe, that you are not alone, that you've been here before and made it through. Over time, these little rituals become anchors. They help you return to calm more quickly and more naturally. Sometimes, the thing that keeps us stuck is the judgment we place on our own emotions. We feel weak for crying, embarrassed for being afraid, guilty for being angry. But emotions are not moral failures. They are part of being human. Forgiving yourself for feeling doesn't mean letting emotions control your life. It means allowing yourself to feel without shame. When you stop beating yourself up for having emotions, something softens inside. That softness is where healing lives. And from that place, calm becomes possible again. The space between feeling and reacting is where our power lies. It's so easy to lash out when we're hurt, or shut down when we're overwhelmed. But if you can learn to pause, even for just 5 seconds, you give yourself a chance to respond from wisdom instead of emotion. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what would the calm version of me do right now? This doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It means choosing a response that honors your values, not just your mood. That tiny pause can protect relationships, your peace, and your future. When emotions are intense, it can feel like they'll last forever. But no feeling is final. Every storm eventually runs out of rain. Every night eventually turns to morning. So if you're caught in a wave of emotion right now, remind yourself gently, this will pass. It always does. You've made it through hard moments before. You are stronger than this feeling. And even if it doesn't go away right away, it doesn't have to control you. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply breathe, stay present, and wait for the storm to pass. Staying calm when your emotions rise isn't about never feeling deeply. It's about learning to stay rooted while the storm moves through you. Calm isn't something we force. It's something we return to again and again through awareness, compassion, and choice. And in that returning, we discover that peace isn't the absence of emotion. It's the quiet strength of being able to feel without being swept away. What's one small thing that helps you stay calm when emotions feel overwhelming? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If this video brought you value, subscribe to Beyond Wisdom. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, and stay wise.